This homeowner listed their house with an agent, accepted an offer from an investor anyway, and just weeks later, that same house sold for nearly $150,000 more. Let's talk about how this happened and why it matters if you're thinking about selling. Welcome to my new series, The Real Cost of Fast Cash, where I break down real homes sold to those we buy houses for cash companies and what happens after the seller has signed. Today's example is a property located in Elmhurst, a suburb outside of Chicago. This is a single family home with 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, just over 1,500 square feet, partially finished basement, and a 1-car attached garage with a side drive. And this is important. It was not a distressed property. Now, when this investor purchased this home, it was listed with the realtor, like I said, and the MLS remarks described it as beautifully maintained, move-in ready, with hardwood floors, large bedrooms, and a finished basement, and even a home office overlooking the large backyard. It also mentioned fresh paint and a new air conditioner and furnace were already installed. Now, on October 14th of 2025, an investor purchased this home for $340,000. Now, here's where this case stands out. The seller didn't just take a random offer. They had already listed this home with a realtor, and it sat on the MLS for 22 days. Why that matters? That tells me the seller was likely working with pricing guidance that missed the mark completely, because what happened next is the real story, the resale. Less than a month later, on November 13th, 2025, that same investor listed the home for $499,900. No major renovations, no additions, no full gut rehab, and it went under contract in just 8 days. Okay, I think you can see for yourself from the few photos of the interior of the property, it's exactly what it sounded like when the investor bought it, when it was listed with the realtor. So unless they put in that granite countertop in the kitchen, those cabinets don't look new. And they said everything was freshly painted. So very minimal was done, in my opinion, by this investor. Yes, that's right. They sold it for $487,000. So let's talk numbers. Let's break this down simply. The original seller accepted $340,000. The investor resold the same home for $487,000. That's a $147,000 difference, even after closing costs, commissions, and light touch-ups. There's still a massive gap. Incorrect pricing and proper market exposure. That's why this one really stands out. This isn't a case where a seller avoided repairs. This isn't a case where the house was falling apart. This is a case where a homeowner trusted bad numbers, made a fast decision, and quietly left serious money on the table. And Unfortunately, this happens more often than people realize. If this were your home, would you have taken the fast cash, or would you want to know what the open market would really pay? Fast cash isn't always the wrong choice, but it should never be the only option that you're shown. Before you accept a cash offer, you deserve to know what your home is actually worth in the market you're selling, and whether selling as is on the open market could put more money in your pocket. If you're thinking about selling anytime soon or in the near future, reach out to me before you sign anything. A short conversation could make a very big difference. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, check out some of my other videos. And like always, reach out with any questions. Hope to see you in the next one.